explore and create your experience chain with your clients. And at each point, you want to ask a bunch of questions. You'll get this from me as well. Is what are the customers doing? What else could they be doing? What problems are they experiencing? What are they thinking at each step? Where are they when that awareness of need is first coming? Where are they when they are making the decision to buy? And how are you influencing that? Are they at home, at the computer? Right? Who is the customer? That's your target market. Who's with the customer when they're making that decision? Right? So, buying a car for the family, right? Where is the spouse when the other spouse is on the car lot? And is that decision going to be made? And should the car salesman believe the decision is going to be made when Jack says, I'm going to buy that? He says, well, don't you have to talk to your spouse? Nope! And that guy never shows up on the lot again. Because he went home and he introduced the concept of buying a Jaguar to his wife. And she said no. Right? So these are all things that you will ask yourself as you go down the consumption chain to help you differentiate at each one of those touch points. If you differentiate at all the relevant touch points, imagine the exponential effect of that on how you impart an experience on a customer and how your competition might be doing it. Who, in their mind, they're still trying to figure out how to differentiate around product instead of experience. Ways to innovate. Here's some things to ask. How could I reconstruct the consumption chain in total? Well, what did Amazon do to book buying? One-click buying now. Coinstar. They're the company that, for all of the loose change that we've accumulated like 20 years ago, and we had to sort it ourselves to convert it into pocket cash, I mean, stuff that we know how to spend in dollar bill form, they went out and they created the sorting machines. I think there's one even in the Jewel up the street here. All right. Guess what? They pocket 9% of every one of the transactions. People are paying 9% for that convenience. Just to convert pocket change into what I'll call spending money. You think there's value in reconstructing the value chain? Right. You could digitize or deploy cheaper forms of communications or interfacing with clients. Online car purchasing. Right? Online car purchasing. It's just a totally different interface using electronics. You can eliminate time from the chain, online banking. Right? Or last, you can make some links smarter. So the one that I refer to mostly is the mobile speed pass, right? You just kind of wand it and transaction's done. Credit card too at the pumps is the alternative. But this is all different ways that you can ask yourself, how would I change awareness? How would I change find me? How would I change, how the consumer makes a decision? How would I change install? I don't know. Or how could I change use rather? Think of ease of doing business. Too many companies do make it hard to buy. Obstacles range from simple things to complex business policy. Have you ever heard this? Yeah. Have you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you want to be easy to find. You want to be easy to know make it easy to see and know what you have. Easy to pay, easy to come back. I mean, the neat thing about this, too, in a way, is Canon and many others, even Staples doing it, right? You can return print cartridges now, right? And they take care of it and actually credit you some amount. I don't know if it's $2 a cartridge now at Staples for the HP things. But Canon says just ship back, your old cartridges and we'll credit you something on these are the big cartridges. Computer stores are taking back hardware. Regarding service, not ready to create massive wows yet, just basics of good service with a smile, that might be enough. But as you look at your experience chain, identify where you're going to apply that. Where are you losing business due to poor service? What service training do you provide to your people? I don't think that fast food place downtown is providing much education to the clerks and the people retrieving the food. Do you have a need to replace some people who don't care about service? And I think that's the alarm. So thank you. Thank you for always attending Main Street.
Thank you.
A few thoughts to trigger your thinking on customer service. Questions?
How do you implement a lot of those things when you're an individual store owner and you want to make everybody happy all the time and you run out of time in the day and you have your top 10 and you don't mean to break a promise, but there's just, you know, you could hire as many people as you want, but it just can't get all done. So I find that challenge.
Sorry. I'm just
That's a real alarm.
That's a
Here we go. Grab the tuna. Well, so how do you do it? Don't do all 10. Don't do all 10. Be proficient at a few. Excel at a few. So pick your spots. You can't fall on every sword. That's my first piece of advice. So other advice for Christine.
But you're pissing off the people that, you know, the number 6 is really important to them and you're focusing on number 2 because you feel like, you know what I mean? I mean, like, I feel like I'm doing the best I can and I do it 24 hours a day, but there's only me and there, you know, I have a couple of employees, but it just is, it's a lot for small businesses to function.
They do, I think what I notice in any of the areas that we may fall through the cracks from time to time is that they know we're genuine. I mean, they know that we really are trying. And when you instill that in your customers, they kind of forgive you, you know, a couple times a year if they have to or whatever, if you didn't get something that they needed when they wanted it or you forgot to order it or whatever. Yeah, granted, I think as women too, you know, you're trying to be all things to all people all the time, 24/7, and it just doesn't happen. That's where we need to take lessons from the men because they have ability to just kind of go,
I'm not
that's
taking
it.
lessons from any men. No, I'm doing a good job by myself. No, because
We probably should leave.
Well, no, because I feel like.
But that goes
know,
back to the
Maybe
real
we'll learn
estate
something.
thing too.
It
That
does.
you felt torn, and one time somebody said to me, because my kids were growing up at this particular time, and said to me, when is there time for Pam?
Yeah.
And I said, in the car between appointments.
Yeah.
So
It's boundaries and it's making them and keep
Yeah.
boundaries.
yeah, and look, it is really, really difficult, I know, to differentiate, and maybe the word going through some of our heads is discriminate across customer lines. I get that. But the economics of the situation says that some just aren't going to yield as much for you as others. And if I'm going to use the law of attraction and all of the disciplines around target marketing and bringing in more clients, I really want to bring in more of a certain kind of client. I can't
You focus more of your efforts.
just focus more of your efforts on that, right?
Which
So
is good.
there's
I mean,
the,
I do that, but it just seems like I was trying to get a viewpoint from other people.
I think we're all doing the
Because I'm
same
trying
thing,
to do it all,
really,
and it's
Christine.
like-
There's no question. I mean, we want to be perfect all the time, but we're just not. And I think the fact that we're all humans, that knowing that, showing that you've made the absolute best possible effort to resolve a situation or to communicate something to somebody, I think goes miles.
Yeah.
You know, it really does.
I'm trying.
You know, that's about all we can do, right?
Yeah.
Well, you'll make
Seriously.
yourself crazy
Yeah.
too. I mean, just not
Just be
having.
as
I'm
conscientious.
thankful for the business that I have the opportunity to be
I
able
know.
to do something about it.
Sure, I
So
understand, yeah.
it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining, I was just wondering what other people have.
We all have the same thing.
Yeah,
Every one of us. No
it's a good
question.
thing, I'm thankful.
Yeah.
other questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We'll evaluate the remaining list, right? And, you know, I think what we'll do is we'll set, like earlier, we'll put headlights on the road to the membership about here's the ones that are still out there. You know, pick your spots, a lot of good content still remaining. It might be wise to take July off